Hello, all you beautiful gamers out there. It is I, Totem Lord, and today I actually come to you with a bit of a quandary. Now, as some of you may know, there's a new Pokemon game coming out in November. I believe it is November 17th, maybe? Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. And the question I have for you guys today is, should or should you not buy it? Well, maybe not you, but me personally. Now, my problem is I feel like Pokemon over the years has kind of grown stale and hasn't really added too much new to it. And what I'd like to do is go over some points, go over why it's gone stale, some things that Pokemon has gone over in the past that's been pretty cool, and also maybe some possible ideas of how they could actually make it more interesting. Because from my point of view, Pokemon has kind of become a by the numbers thing, and it's really disappointing because I've been there ever since the very beginning. I bought Pokemon Red back in the day, and that's the only game where I almost caught every single Pokemon. I got 148 out of 151, and yeah, that's as close as I'll ever get to catching them all. But anyway, so yes, I have been a Pokemon fan for quite a while. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those hardcore competition people. I mean, I build up my team and I play with my friends, but I've never, been like this big Pokemon breeder or trainer.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so let's get to some points, shall we? The first few points that I'd like to make are why the series has gone stale. Man, I'm stuttering a lot tonight. I should have brought some potion or even some coffee. Anyway, forget that. The overall game has just really gotten so stale, and it's just really disappointing. Like, you always start off in this small little crapper town. It is your objective to defeat 8 gym leaders, become the Pokemon Master. There's going to be some kind of evil team or some bad guy team that that you're going to cross paths and that you're going to have to take down, and you always have a rival, and it's just, I don't know. Those aspects of it have just gotten super stale, and it's really sad because it's coming out on the Switch, and they're really not trying anything new, and I see little to no incentive to buying it. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what what you guys see in Pokemon, and I don't know, maybe like convince me to get it, because I've always loved it, but well, it bears repeating now. It's just gotten so boring. I made it part of the way through Sun, and I made it through the first 3 trials, or gym leaders, as they'd have you think. Reverse that. But no, I made it through the first 3 island trials, and same old boring stuff. There wasn't really too much new, I feel. So now let's go over a few things of the past that I feel that Pokemon has actually done that has been super awesome, really intriguing. In Pokemon Silver and Gold, they had the night and day feature, and I absolutely loved that. It was so cool to be able to have your system that was linked to actual time and day, and you could go around and find Pokemon at certain aspects of the day, and I just thought that was so cool and at the time. And like, they have all these really cool features that they do like once or twice, and they just completely drop, and it's such a bummer, because I think that would be really cool today to you know play your game at a certain specific time. I mean, like, it would make you think about the game more often, but lo and behold. Another feature, which is also from Gold and Silver, was the phone that they gave you in it. That where you can contact important people, or they can keep in touch with you, and trainers could even call you for a rematch. I thought that was really cool too. Like, thinking back, Gold and Silver was a little bit more ambitious than than I originally gave it credit for, because I've always thought of it as kind of it was a kind of a dull sequel, but thinking back, it really did add some really cool things. But the phone was really cool, and you could actually call people up at, like, your mom or the professor, and you might get some important information, or other trainers that you ran to along the beaten path of Pokemon. They might call you up and say, "Hey, I'm ready for a rematch," and although they'd be the exact same the exact same level, and you just curb stomp them, I still think that if they brought that back, they could, like, update that and make it cool again, make Pokemon cool again. Anyway, another neat thing I thought was the secret fort in Sapphire and Ruby. absolutely adored that feature. It was so awesome to be able to get, to be able to find some random patch out in the wild and, uh, you know, just build your own fort. You could like go out and buy furniture, you could buy rugs, you could buy Poke Dolls, and really make it yours. And I just feel like if they brought that back in the new one, you could like maybe like explore other people's secret forts or have them in your world. And I don't know. It's another feature that Nintendo, or maybe not Nintendo, but Game Freak, pardon me, that Game Freak is, used once, twice if you count the remake, and just never did anything with it again. And the final point I wanted to bring up, which there are other good things about Pokemon that has been really cool, but these are just a couple short ones I wanted to do. The last one I want to bring up was the Pokemon competitions in Black and White. I don't know why, but for some reason I got like really deep into those. At first, I kind of like scratched my head at it because I did no idea what was going on. But it was something I really invested a lot of time into, and I just thought it was really neat how you could enter them in these not necessarily beauty pageants, although there was an actual beauty one, but you could like feed them berries and actual and then do an actual competition. It was so cool. But I never understood how eating berries or whatever it was changed your appearance to being cool. I mean, I never ever saw the Pokemon, grow devil horns or anything. I could see the berries helping them become more beautiful. Maybe it like made their fur, have more of a sheen to it. But anyway, I'm rambling. But yeah, those are some cool features of Pokemon that, that kind of helped the series along, that really made it cool. Now, to make this to where it's not just a video about me complaining and being this, toxic fanboy or something, which, I hope I'm not. But anyway, I actually came up with a few ideas I think would be really neat if Nintendo added. And yeah, tell me what you think of them. Because honestly, as I was writing, I was like, oh my god, this would make Pokemon super awesome. So, and one or two of these I actually have heard before. But here, let's do the first one. I think the one neat feature that the Pokemon series could add is making all Pokemon at your level, because really it doesn't make much sense that that you just so happen to start off in the small crapper town where all Pokemon are level 1 and you can beat the crap out of them with little ease. I just think it'd be something neat that the company could add, just to kind of mix things up. I mean, which also actually goes into another point I had, was to make it open world. You could visit gym leaders in any order that you want, and that's actually a feature I've heard from I don't know if it was on other YouTubers or just ideas I've heard in general, maybe on Facebook or something. But I think that would be really neat to be able to go and visit gym leaders in any order that you want, because it really sucked on the first one to go against Brock, who had nothing but rock Pokemon, and unless you had the right Pokemon, you really had to grind. It'd be nice to have the option to go to a different area, or I mean, kind of be more like a free roaming Pokemon trainer, which isn't that what you're going for anyway? So yeah, those two kind of go hand in hand. Make all Pokemon, well, maybe it doesn't go hand in hand. Forget I said that. But yes, make all Pokemon your level to level, just for a little bit more realism, or even just to switch it up, because it really sucks to go back to, older areas and you accidentally step in some grass and you met with a level 12 Pidgey or something and you have to KO it and feel like a complete jerk for it. But also they could do that with the trainers you meet along the way too, because, I mean, it would add a little bit more challenge, because it kind of gets monotonous if you have this overpowered Pokemon team and suddenly you just run into this, this bug trainer. I hate to use bug trainers as examples, but, you squash them so easily. And like I said, the game kind of just holds your hand, and, if it's, just like any other RPG where, if you level up so much, everything just becomes drab and boring. Alright, next point I'd like to bring up. I think it would be really cool to actually catch your first Pokemon. I got this idea because I did play the Let's Go, was it Pikachu or Eevee? Either way, I played one of those games, and I actually liked the feature where you could like throw Pokemon and catch your Pokemon like that. I mean, yeah, it did start you off with Eevee, but over the years they've actually made Pokemon an actual legit companion for you. So, and you can like, even feed them treats to get them to like you more, or you can even go as far as I think pet them in a couple of them. But they added that whole nother layer of realness. But if it's your first Pokemon, I don't know. I just feel like you should be able to catch it, and it would just add a bit more layer of a connection that you have with your Pokemon. I mean, really, how much of a connection are you gonna have with a Pokemon who you beat the crap out of the first time you met him? Let's see. Just a couple more points I want to go over that I feel would help enhance Pokemon would be, I think it'd be really cool if at some point in the game, if you actually lost all your Pokemon, um, or even just to put it more general, or just to generalize this idea a little bit more, add more plot twists because everything just happens in a firing order, and you know, I just think it would really shake up the story a bit because you're always going to run into Team Magma or Team Rocket or Team Hibbity Bobbity Boo. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like just adding plot twists, would really just shake up the story because like I stated earlier, the story is so cut and dry. It's so monotonous, and it's in my opinion probably the one of the biggest problems with the game is just how predictable it is. Whew, I had to throw in the arm movements to be able to remember my thoughts here. But anyway, but break up the monotony of it. And the last point I have is probably a smaller one, but I think it'd be really cool to see old characters from the past games. Like in Pokemon Gold and Silver, at the very last person that you face, if you follow all the way through to the end, you get to run into Red. I thought that was super cool. See a person from another game, or you fight Blue as one of the gym leaders instead of Giovanni, and I thought that was pretty awesome actually. But I mean, I know that they're all set in their own region. I know that they're all their own area, whatever. But I don't know, it's always cool to like see characters from different stories pop up in other games, like in Dragon Quest. I remember in Dragon Quest 9, if you went to the what was it called? It was some kind of inn or some kind of, it was a place, it was like a hotel or something, and you could run into characters from other Dragon Quest games, and it's just such a really cool, just a nice little touch just to make it that much cooler. But anyway, but yeah, here's my question today is, what do you see in Pokemon? Why are you buying it? Or are you like me and you just kind of lost all the flair for it? I am genuinely curious. Why are people still interested in Pokemon? Because to me, it does seem like that they're selling the exact same game. And other franchises and series have, gotten busted for that. Like, take a look at the New Super Mario Brothers series. New Super Mario Brothers U and New Super Mario Brothers 2 were both, um, they're both picked on because it was the same thing over. And in a way, they're right. It kind of was the same game, just, made shiny again. Literally in New Super Mario Bros. 2. But anywho, yes, let's have a discussion. And yeah, tell me what you think. What's going on with the Pokemon? Why are you buying it? And what do you see in it? Like, what keeps what keeps it going for you? So yes, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for checking me out, and I will judge you next time. And while that might seem like this really, really weird, really far out there idea, maybe maybe one thing they could do to balance that would be to give your Pokemon perks. This is something I've seen in Dragon Quest just a little bit, is other than just straight up leveling up your character in Dragon Quest, you give them a perk. Like you can raise their shield block percentage, or you can give them special abilities. In Pokemon, you could build the resistance to certain things. That way, it's just seems a little more. Or you could actually put them through rigorous training, like training your Bulbasaur in a volcano. I don't know. When I used to play Pokemon Black and White, I had a group of friends I used to play with, and we would get together at least a couple times a week. It was so much fun. But one thing that kind of takes away from it is, I feel, is levels, because I've played every single Pokemon. I know what I'm doing. But when my friend busts out his level 70 and I have my level 50, it's just it's like, what's the point of having that battle? It's completely pointless. It adds nothing to the fun. It adds nothing to the gameplay. It's like, okay, this person's like 20 levels above me. He's gonna knock the crap out of me. You know, it's just this complete waste of time. So maybe that wouldn't be replacing the core of Pokemon. Maybe that could be like a what is that called? An option for players to turn on because, like I said, there are some people that that have a lot of experience, and it might actually be able to cut all that extra stuff out